Hello friends and potential friends. Well, I think today is the 3rd of March. It's a Saturday, bit overcast, and it also happens to be the first weekend of bike week here in Daytona. So I'll apologize in advance for the rumbling and the loud mufflers that you're more than likely going to hear while I record this. For now, I'm just out in the garden, looking around. Been eating a lot of this stuff, and I will be eating a lot more of it. Things are coming along real nice. And I don't know where to really start with this. Basically, just another tour of the garden to see what's happened in the last couple of weeks. So let me grab the other camera, and I think first I'll run out front and see how that tomato tower's doing. So starting off with the tomato tower, this side looks a little bit skimpy. I just added that support to the bottom because this side over here is not skimpy. In fact, a couple of these plants are pretty much going crazy. Loaded down with little cherry tomatoes and blossoms, and it's not going to be long before we start getting some seeds out of here. Overall, I just can't complain at all. What do you think? Those are all Praxis cherry tomatoes, and I'm going to be collecting seeds as much as possible this year. Let's go see what's going on in the lab. And speaking of Praxis cherry tomatoes, there's a bunch of them there, there's a bunch of them over here, a bunch of them buried in there, more up there, more blossoms, more tomatoes. I'm just keeping these inside because there are no other tomatoes in here. So that pretty much eliminates the chance of getting any cross-pollination. As far as the spring garden grows, well, it's growing. These are all my different peppers that have come up. This tray here, I planted some more asparagus seeds to fill in some empty spots. Same with this one here. And then these few over here are the ones that haven't popped up yet. Sugar Rush Peach, IG Crystal, White Habanero. One of the Anaheims, I'm happy to report this other Anaheim just popped up overnight. So I've at least got one of those coming up. Red Marconis are not doing well this year. And there's a couple eggplants I planted back there, and these haven't popped up yet. But the vast majority of these are doing pretty good. And it won't be too long before I start fretting about where I'm going to put them outside. Speaking of outside, you may notice that some of the pineapples are missing. I put a few of them in the ground. These are my mystery tomatoes, some of which are no longer a mystery. For example, this one right here, that is a homestead. I can tell that because of the shape of the leaves. Also the fact that it's got homestead tomatoes starting to grow on it. And I picked one off of it the other day that went into my BLT. Some of the others I'm not sure about. But this one down here, that's another homestead. Those ones I can recognize. And that one's got a tomato on it too. Nothing happening in the ginger and turmeric tower yet, but it won't be much longer. Salad tower is going pretty good. I've got a lot of Swiss charge spreading out in there. I've got more leaf lettuce that I can get salads out of, but all the leaf lettuce at the top is bolted, and I might just leave that alone and get some seeds out of it. Got my watch cats out here. There's Mamba, and there's Licorice. Yeah. And in the main garden, I've been eating radishes. Eating quite a few of them, actually. The Roma tomatoes, I've got tomatoes all over the place. They were just a little bit slow developing. They were also the last seeds that I planted. But there are tomatoes all over in there, and it shouldn't be too much longer before they start turning. My carrot tower, I've got little tiny carrots growing in there. I haven't pulled any of these yet, but they were about a month behind the first batch that I planted, so they're not really developed very much yet. Let's see, comfrey, the cilantro. I'll be getting seeds off of that before too long. Garlic. Oh, there's Snowflake. Garlic's growing good. Now if you feel a few sprinkles starting to hit me, I hope all them bikers brought their rain suits with them, because we have rain in the forecast every day this week. It's going to be one of those bike weeks. A lot of wet leather and loud mufflers. Collards, you haven't seen it yet, but I went through and picked a bunch of these collards the other day. And another couple of weeks I'll show you what they turned into. The Napa cabbage, I've got one more that's starting to form a head, which is good because I already ate all the kimchi I made. Mustards are doing good, kale is doing good. Over here, the curly kale is doing excellent. Broccoli, I'm still picking little bits of broccoli here and there, trying to catch it before it starts flowering. I think I'm going to give up on Brussels sprouts. Plants are growing good, they're just not producing any sprouts. And over in the purslane bed, I've got more radishes that I've been picking a little bit out of. I've actually been picking quite a few carrots. If you look at the end of any of my recent garden videos, I've been sticking in some of my harvest pictures right at the end, so you can see what I've been eating. More radishes over there. The Floridad tomatoes have got blossoms all over, and we have a few tomatoes here and there. Again, these were planted later than the first batch, so they're coming along nice, just not quite ready to ripen yet. Now my beans, they took about a 2-week break, and then about a week ago they started blooming again, and now I'm starting to pick beans once in a while. So I'll be gathering up more of them. Might have to do some canning pretty soon. Oh, look what I see. That's another homestead over there. And speaking of ripe tomatoes, these are the Everglades. And I've been eating Everglades tomatoes for at least the last month now. They keep putting them out. I get about a handful a day. And they are good. There's another homestead down in there. And I'm still watching these two big ones. Looks like they should start turning here before long. There's another one starting to turn back in there. Things are coming along nice in the tomatoes. Sweet potatoes over there. And the patience garden, Well, I think I showed you that one shoot that came up. A few more have come up. I think there are, if I count right, it's either 5 or 6 root sets that are doing good in there, right in the middle. Oop. This one wasn't here this morning, I don't think. Yeah, there's another one popping up. And I'm just letting them grow for right now. But later on, I'm going to be eating asparagus. So, the rain's getting a little bit harder. I do want to run back to the mini orchard real quick before this rain comes on any harder. So let's go see what I want to show you back there. Okay, starting into the mini orchard, we're greeted by hibiscus and lemongrass. Anybody need any lemongrass seeds? Looks like I got about 1 million of them. And this guy here, which I've always thought was another volunteer hibiscus, is beginning to look like it might be a mulberry. And I don't know where it came from. Gardenia is growing good. Haven't seen any flowers yet. The Florida avocado has got new growth everywhere. I think I keep saying that. And over here on the Meyer lemon, which I grew from seed about 4 years ago, I spotted my first blossom. I might get a lemon off of this thing this year. Loquat's doing good. The original Ponderosa has got blossoms all over it again. And it still has that one lemon that's just about right. I said I was going to talk about the pineapples. Well, I came out here the other day and started putting cardboard around all the existing pineapples I had out here. And then I got a little bit froggy, so I went ahead and planted about 5 or 6 more. The cardboard hopefully will help keep the weeds and grass from taking over too much. And the rest of those that are on the patio will probably be joining them out here before too long. Pomegranate, it's got a few leaves on it. That's a weird plant. Kept leaves most of the winter. And then when it started warming up, it started dropping its leaves. There's the other avocado and the little fig tree back there. And the Ponderosa I grew from seed. That thing's got blossoms all over the place. If it tries to make a lemon out of every one of those blossoms, there ain't no way this plant can support that much weight. The other mulberry is popping up nice. And these little things right here are what makes me think that that other plant over there is another mulberry. And I didn't trim it in time. So I guess it's going to go crazy this year. Oh well. But anyway, I have to speak up because Harley riders just don't seem to understand what mufflers are for. But this is what we get this time of year. And they spend a lot of money, so can't really complain. And I used to like going out to the events. But garden's looking good. I'm eating a lot. Probably will be canning some pretty soon. And life is good. Hope you enjoyed the little walk around, and I'll see you next time.